Thanks for tuning in to our seller interview series. Well, today we've got a 3-site package of Amazon affiliate sites for sale in the home and garden niche, created respectively in February 2015, May 2015, and June 2016. This business makes $3,768 per month in net profit, and the listing number for these sites is 40990. Now, we do these interviews to give potential buyers more information about both the seller and the sites they're looking to purchase. We hope these insights are helpful for you in making a buying decision. We got the seller with us today to go through the business and cover everything from niche selection to traffic and monetization. Thanks for coming on, Dewey.
Yeah, nice to see you, Greg.
Yeah, before we dive into the questions, just to give a quick summary, again, for everyone out there listening in, as I mentioned, the 3 sites were built respectively in February 2015, May 2015, and June 2016. They have a monthly revenue of $3,903 with expenses sitting at $135 for that total net profit of $3,768. That is over a 6-month average, and including the sell with this business are the 3 domains, site contents, the PBNs and social profiles for one of the sites, and an extra domain that is just starting to make some money. So all that being said, Dewey, can you tell us a little bit about your background in building and running online businesses?
Okay, I began during the end of 2010. When I first started, I began with being an affiliate to Amazon. And when I first started, I had one of my accounts for my site. And my first site, they were really small and they just making a small amount of money every month. But then I started scaling, and to a point I was confident with my skills, and then I started building more sites. But during that time, Google released their new algorithm, Panda and Penguin, and they got all of my sites. The money I make from Amazon went down to zero almost overnight. I had to review everything. When I started again, I started building the site listing with you guys today. And the site had penalty with Google, but now they are fine. And the business model of mine is pretty straightforward. It is just making money via affiliate sales on Amazon, driving the traffic mostly with SEO.
Yeah, fairly straightforward business, as you mentioned. We'll get into what you were just referring to there with the penalties with Google's algorithm update and everything.
Okay.
Before we do that, though, these sites, once they are up and going and they're getting healthy amount of traffic, they tend to be fairly hands-off. So why are you selling the business? Why not just keep it and grow it?
Yeah, the reason for selling my site is because me and my wife, we are having a local business and it's expanding, and we need some upfront cash to invest in my local business. So I have to sell my online property to have some cash to invest in my local business.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Cool. So you're going to be reinvesting the capital into this local business of yours.
Yeah, that's right.
Great. So we kind of already hinted at it at the top here. What was the trajectory of the business for those first few weeks and months when you first started? And also, when did the penalties start happening? When it did occur, and what did you do to reverse the penalty and make everything good again?
Okay. My first sites, I started them, and I think about 4 months when they start making a few dollars. And the months afterward, they started making more and more. But then December 9th, 2015, Google came up with manual penalty on both of my sites. And the penalty was related to thin content. I was a bit too greedy with my money making aspect, and I was completely forgot about the helpfulness side of the site. So Google didn't see any useful informational articles on my site, and all of them were money making pages. They decided to give them thin content manual penalty. And there was another site, and it was actually built by my brother, and he was a bit inexperienced during that time, and he was a bit too aggressive with his anchor text, when building links. And then his side was issued unnatural inbound link penalty. In order to revoke the penalties on my site, I had to completely remove all the money making pages, and I had to replace them with good informational articles. And when I did that and I resubmit the consideration request to Google, they saw it, they approved it for me. And the process took about 4 months to complete on my side. And for my brother's side, that had the unnatural inbound links penalty. He had to do a double 301 redirect in order to overcome the penalty. This is actually a well-known method to overcome the manual penalty for the site. And when he did that, after about 3 months, I think the site started to climb back in rankings and traffic started to rise again. Yeah,
Yeah, so how long has it been since the penalty has been recovered?
I think it has been about 1 year and a month now. Yeah,
Excellent. And you also had some issues with your Amazon account as well, right?
yeah,
Something dealing with images. Would you mind going into that?
yeah, that's right.
Double whammy.
Yeah, as you know, I was a bit too inexperienced when I first started. I didn't read the terms and service of Amazon when I registered my first account with them. They didn't allow people to download images from their site and then make modification to them and then upload to our site. That is a complete no. So I did exactly that, and when they started noticing, they banned my account. I tried to reappear, but they didn't accept, so I had to open a new account. And that new account had been living well for about a year, I think. And then Amazon started showing up again, and they said that this account of mine was related to that closed account before. So they closed that, and they closed my new account as well. And my brother account, he had another Amazon account of his own, and he used to log into his account using my laptop. So Amazon saw that and they closed his account as well. So after that, I had to open another new account using new information and new payment method and new address. And I had to rearrange the domains of our site to a new domain. So I had to reapply to Amazon. And fortunately, they accept again, and the account has been running well since then.
Since you couldn't download images from Amazon to use on your website, where did you go about getting the images for the product?
The images currently on our site are downloaded directly from their tool. So it is nothing against term of service. Amazon has a tool for publishers to insert images on their site without breaking the service.
Yeah, so you're using Amazon's actual API, so they will update the pictures automatically because of the APIs in there. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that's exactly.
So, is there anything, and it sounds like there's a lot, but is there any one thing you learned operating these sites that you might apply to future sites down the road? Any one thing that just worked really well for you?
Yeah, actually, I had a few lessons from this business venture. I mean, the first lesson I think I would do better next time is to balance the amount of money-making pages and informational articles, just so I can avoid the thin content penalty. Another lesson is to not go too aggressive with link building and especially anchor because now Penguin and Panda both real-time algorithms, so they can detect everything very fast. So I have to tread very carefully right now. And another thing is to expand the content as fast as possible because once the site have enough authority, the domain authority stats of the site high enough, about 25, for example, we can add as many content and articles to the site and start ranking for long tail keywords very quickly, and the money will come after that.
Is there anything that you did to the site that didn't work? Outside of what we've already talked about with the penalties, is there anything else that stands out?
I think that I try to cover too many sub niches in the market, other related products, but not all of them start ranking. And I think I have to redo my keyword research to pick better keywords.
I'm sorry, you said you would pick your keywords better?
Yeah, that's right. Because
Go ahead.
I try to pick, some related keywords, but not that related to the main product line of the site. So that might be something that Google took into consideration because they saw that my site is about this thing, but the other keywords are about other things and they are not that related, they don't start ranking right away and still have to invest in the content and link building, you know.
Right. That makes sense. Keyword research is definitely a big foundation for the business. Yeah. So when it comes to traffic and eventually earnings, I'm assuming 100% of the traffic right now is just Google organic search traffic. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that might be about 90% and 10% are coming from other sources.
Like social or?
Social and direct traffic and referral, you know.
Excellent. As far as a breakdown of earnings, you only have like a few money pages? Is it spread out? Do you find that one money page is earning like the lion's share of the money on the website?
No, I think for our size, we actually have a lot of pages. They range from both product reviews articles to the best article, you know, best XYZ for the monthly subtitle article. And for the earning in our site, there are a few articles I believe that are making good amount of money, but you know, not the biggest chunk. And because all the other pages they do contribute to the earning of the site.
And how stable are the earnings? Do you find that there's much seasonality at all throughout the year?
For two sides, this package, they are seasonal, a bit seasonal, because of the product line and their functioning, you know. When the time comes, people will go find those products more, and the site might see an upward trend in traffic.
So there is seasonality. There's one time in the year where more people are buying this product than another time.
Yeah, and I think that all of the three sides upward trend in traffic and earnings during the holiday season.
Okay, so the uptick is during the holiday seasons.
Holiday season and then specific season of the year for the two sides, you know.
Okay. How much content is on the site currently?
I don't quite remember because
no worries. No worries. Just make a guess.
I stopped working on them for a long time now. I think on average they have about around 50 to 70 articles on that on average.
And when you were building them, how often were you adding content on a monthly basis?
I didn't update them quite frequently, you know. I might do a batch update in one day and then might completely forgot about them in all the other days of the month. So, you know, the workflow is like this. When I do my keyword research, I will then pull a list of about 100 keywords, something like that, and then I will choose my keyword and I give them all to my writer, and they will have content written and update on my, and I will update them on my site in about 1 or 2 days, and then maybe the rest of the month I might not add anything new. Yeah.
Hypothetically, if you wanted to keep these sites and keep growing them, what would you do to grow the business that would be the least risky path to grow the business?
I think that the fact that these sites have links from my PBN, you know, is a risk factor because everyone doing SEO know that, and I think that we can continue with the SEO and PBN link building, but the site, the network, and the PBN must look natural and they must have real power. I mean, the links must be coming from real PBN sites with high metrics and good content, and might be ranking on their own with for their long tail keywords. And the next thing that I think would be less risky is to invest in white hat link building, you know, email outreach link building campaigns.
Yeah.
And when I did that for one of my sites, I had good results because when I asked for link and my content was good, people was really open to link to me. And white hat links might replace the PBN links someday. And that another thing that I want to mention is for these sites, the potential buyer could do some email list building, and he can start collecting emails on the site because start advertising to his list are the offers beside the offers on Amazon. You know, maybe some informational products on ClickBank, other physical products from retailers. That I think would be a good choice is to start doing some A/B split testing on how to improve the click-through rate to Amazon and other conversion rate aspect. You know.
So, what do you think is the biggest risk with this business that a buyer should be aware of before they purchase this business?
I think the biggest risk is about the link building part of the site because they were involved in PVN link building. And that's why I highly recommend someone who has skills in white hat link building. So if they have that skill, they can start replacing the PVN links with stronger white hat links. And that's something that should be done in a long time because white hat link building is harder than doing PVN link building.
Yeah, it definitely can be if you don't have the right systems in place. Skipping a question ahead, since you already kind of mentioned some skills, what are the skills that you'd suggest a buyer have? Just white hat link building skills? Is there anything else you'd suggest?
I think I would suggest two types of buyers to take on this listing. The first one is someone who has email outreach link building skills, so they can replace the gray hat PVN links with a white hat links. And the other type of buyers that I think can take on this kind of listing is someone who has very strong and natural looking PVN network, so they can start replacing the links that we lost during the time with links from their network, and when the site has the power again, they can start ranking back real quick.
Excellent. Yeah, having good white hat skills is definitely a good thing to have for someone buying a website like this if they do want to convert it. So, what kind of work are you doing right now to maintain the business on, say, a weekly or monthly basis?
Yeah, to be honest, I spend almost zero time on these sites this day because they are making money on almost autopilot now. I just log into the WordPress admin to update the themes and plugins, so there will be no, security holes for hackers to hack the site. And apart from that, I don't do any other things for the site.
Excellent. That's awesome, man. Moving into some wrap up questions here, would you be willing to commit to a non compete?
Yeah, I definitely will.
And how much support would you be willing to offer a buyer?
I can offer the potential buyer 60-day support via email, Skype. Yeah.
Excellent. Now, obviously, the best case scenario here for you and Empire Flippers is someone comes in and buys this business outright for full price. But
Yeah.
would you at all be open to a split or earn out, say, 80% upfront and then 20%, say, after that support period or over a period of a couple months or whatever it might be, something like that?
When I first started listing this business with Empire Flippers, I said no. But now I think I'm open to that.
Okay, cool. Obviously, it's very case by case basis and all that good stuff. Before I ask you my final question here, I just want to give a quick summary of the business again for everyone listening in. As I mentioned at the top of the show, is the three sites were built in February 2015, May 2015, and June 2016. They have a monthly revenue of $3,903, expenses sitting at $135 for that total net profit of $3,768. That is over a 6-month average. And included with the sale of this business are the 3 domains, site contents, the PBNs, social profiles for one of the sites, and an extra domain that is just now starting to make some money. So that being said, Dewey, my final question for you is, what is your best pitch in 30 seconds or less on why someone should purchase this business?
These sites, they were once a great earner. They make good money on almost autopilot, And when the people with the right skills and with the right network come in, they can use their network to power up the sites again. And when the sites have stronger links, because that's what they are lacking right now, the sites back again in just about a few months, I believe. And
So you're saying, oh,
yeah.
go ahead, finish.
And when these sites come to their respective seasonal time, the holiday season, the traffic and the earning might come to a new high and they can skyrocket.
Excellent. So you're saying once the buyer has the site and they start adding more links, more powerful links to it, the
Yeah.
site should be ranking even more. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. So all that being said, for everyone out there, if you're watching this on YouTube and you want more information, the link will be below this video that will take you to the actual marketplace listing. If you're watching this on the listing page and you want more information, you can become a depositor today. It's super easy. All you have to do is click the button, make a deposit, and you'll be given everything you need to review this business. So Dewey, thank you so much for coming on, man. You've been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thanks, Greg. Have a nice day, man.